So last episode we were on the Black Gull. Okay, technically we weren't on the Black Gull. We were actually at the side of the Pickled Quipper is where we started, and there's a sort of gathering of a couple of items, a bribe for Bardor in the form of a month's worth of pipe weed.
Oh yeah.
Smokey decides to try aligning with a different god just in case that helps. Broadly accurate.
It is.
And then, yeah, supplies are gathered. Eska gives Bardor a pieball, which is a new foodstuff that will be sold at the Pickled Quipper. Probably without the feathers and squirrel fur. And yeah, eventually the group heads out on the Black Gull, heading south towards Smokey's tribe. On the first day of sailing, it's fairly nice weather, chilly, definitely chilly. And at one point a pod of dolphins comes up and swims next to the ship, and everyone's looking at them. And then one of them just randomly starts eyeballing Smokey and just keeps maintaining eye contact with Smokey.
I may or may not know this, but I feel like this happened before.
What, where Smokey gets eyeballed by random stuff?
Yeah.
It's possible. I don't remember exactly what happened on the sailing to or from Drakesburg, but that's possible that has happened before, yeah.
I feel like there was a pod of dolphins.
There was definitely a pod of dolphins. And then there was a hydra. That's what happened the last time there was a pod of dolphins. This time it was just eyeballing.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's an improvement.
Yeah. I mean, that's Smokey.
Just like that dolphin gave me the stink eye. Kill it.
And then day 2 ended with the shanty duel. And
remember that.
Ultimately, the Hand of Aegis were victorious and will be expecting a reward in the morning. And my final note is that 3 copper equals 1 bronze. We introduced a new form of currency.
Oh dear.
Mostly, I think, to confuse Spencer. I think that was the goal.
How based off of his expression, I assume it was successful.
Yeah, well, I don't think he remembered it, so that's good. Oh, I don't have this on the right page. What does this save to?
Hey.
I need to move this over here. Oh, it brought up Badger down. That is not what I need right now. So, we pick up the story. Any questions before we start? Questions, clarifications, etc. Just before I start launching into things.
Be right back. My cat's going crazy.
Oh, okay.
Question: why is this cat going crazy?
Probably lack of exercise.
If you're wondering why we have no camera, it's because I didn't bring the camera either.
Apologies.
Excellent. You were very prepared.
Usually when I bring the computer over, I'm bringing it over to do updates, so I don't bring the screen. I just bring the box and plug it in and, in the keyboard. But so, yeah, this time as we were in a bit of a rush, I totally forgot.
You should get one of those internet connections at your house. I hear they're all the rage.
I mean, if you want to help, I feel free. I'm doing everything in my power to make it happen, but it's just not.
It just doesn't seem like you are. All right.
Give Phil the number to the complaints department. Let him put in a word for us.
Yeah, their complaints compartment. You can't They won't connect them to you. They say they'll call the complaints department will call you back within 48 hours.
Oh, that sounds like something I would never do if I'm the
It-
complaint. If I'm the...
Well, weirdly enough, I haven't heard from them yet, so
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that's not great.
No, I'd complain about it, but you know.
I'll see what you did there. So, you wake up on the morning of the 9th of Uktar. There's not many great ways to maintain warmth on a ship without using fire, and everyone is nervous about the idea of using fire on a ship on account of all the wood and pitch that's used to build it. So you wake up and you are cold. What little fire is used is really struggling to cut through. You would guess it is low teens Fahrenheit as you wake. On the plus side, you do note a very nice smell wafting down the ship from the galley. And it seems like probably there's another nice nice stew or something that's being concocted down in the galley by 2 spoons, the halfling cook. And so as you sort of slowly pull yourselves out from your rooms and grab a bowl from the galley and head up on deck, you notice that there's no snow, aside from a light dusting that's left from the night before, but a lot of it gets blown off by the passage of the ship. Skies are clear. Wind isn't particularly strong. The sails are struggling to kind of get to a full billow. But as you're out there looking around, Reeve, the blue tiefling carpenter, comes up and is accompanied by Thumbs, the guy who has 2 left thumbs, which is to say, that one on each hand, but one of them is clearly also a left thumb. They come up, and the tiefling presents you all with a small carved feather, and Thumbs goes on to explain that this is it's a sign that you are part of the flock of the Black Gull, is how they describe it. And you know, they kind of each show that they have one as well. And this is a reward for your efforts in the shanty duel. So each of you can add that you have a Black Gull feather. What it means is that anywhere in this sort of area of the world, you could present that to a ship, ship's captain, first mate, whatever, and you would be granted passage on the ship as a working member of the crew, without having to pay for passage or anything like that. And it grants you a +2 to persuasion checks with sailors and affiliates.
What is that called?
A feather of the Black Gull.
Feather of the Black Gull.
And you said to, like, any sailor in the region?
Any sailor in the
Or-
region would recognize. It's not so much they might not, because it's a new ship, but the concept of this thing where you're sort of like made an honorary member of the crew is something that the sailors in the area would all know. So even if it's, you know, It doesn't matter which ship it is. Each ship would have some sort of icon that they use to symbolize that you're one of them. So if you needed to, you could switch to a different ship and say, "Hey, look, let me come aboard. I'll help out. I'm good. Here's my badge." And I now need. I think, Spencer, it might be your turn to roll a d10.
Oh boy. Can I fudge the roll?
No.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't know how to do it anyway. D10. I rolled a 7. D7.
A 7.
Look at you go.
Okay. So, the day largely passes without incident. You think, well, Smokey, you would think you're probably about halfway, give or take. Looking at some of the you're sailing close enough to the shore that you can kind of see some familiar landmarks. A rogue wave hits the ship, and there's no obvious damage up top, but there was a distinct noise coming from down in the hold.
And it's not like rough seas or anything. It's just kind of more like
Yeah, it's
kind of hit weird.
right. Yeah, every now and then you just get those rogue waves that randomly seem to swell up, and it's come and just sideswipe the ship. So everyone who was on top, probably pretty cold and wet right now. And then there was a distinct sound of a crash or bang coming from below deck. Where are you guys typically spending your day on this trip?
It would be in the underneath.
Okay.
I'd probably be on top of the deck to see if, helping out in any way I needed
Yeah.
to.
I think I'd probably be on the deck because I think that's where, her strength would probably be used, but also maybe helping the cook because
Mhm.
I think that's something she's interested in learning or helping. So probably 50-50 chance either way.
Crow's Nest.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting you to say. So yeah, this wave hits. Eska, you're probably dry because it wasn't big enough to hit you. Smokey, you are soaked through. Cold, cold water. And Cosette, I would say you're probably down there getting ready for lunch, lending a hand, and this wash comes down the stairs into the galley. So now there's like an inch of water down there. And Bardo, you're just like hanging out in the hold, minding your own business, and you hear a loud crash as one of the crates, that luckily in the shore to everyone was well secured, has fallen off, smashed open, and you do see a few things rolling around.
What are those things? And I mean, I am technically part of the crew, so I will try to help out with that, I suppose.
Technically part of this, I guess I could lift a finger. So it's a bunch of stuff that doesn't really mean anything to you necessarily. There's like some pretty basic looking clothes and just a few sort of odds and ends that look like they could be just someone's personal effects. You do see. Let me just check. What would this be? Something catches your eye, and in a moment, I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. It is a it is a sextant, and as you look at it, it just gives you the heebie-jeebies. Hard to explain why. But you start picking everything else up and and then you go to reach for that to pick it up, and you just get like a chill rush up your arm.
Okay. I don't think I would know what that actually is. I know what that is, but Barterwood doesn't know what that is.
That's right.
And so he was just gonna. He's just gonna be like, "Oi, if there's somebody around, just like, what's this thing?"
So the bosun comes over. And he says,
Looks like a sextant.
Okay. Well, that is what does it do?
You use it to navigate with the stars.
Do they normally give off creepy vibes?
No?
Well,
What are you talking about?
let's see. My back seems to be giving me a trifle an issue at the moment. Can you mind picking that up for me?
He starts to lean down to pick it up, and you see him recoil.
Yeah,
What
there
in
it
the
is.
blue blazes was that?
Yeah, I don't know.
He, you've noticed anytime anyone has mentioned anything vaguely magical, or, like when Eska has done Druidcraft in the morning or something like that, he puts distance between himself and whatever is happening. He will make sure there is a person between him and Eska when she's casting. And as soon as he gets like that weird feeling, he is
Freaks out.
out of there. Yep. He looks at the box as he's kind of backing off, and just bellows up to the top of the deck.
Smokey!
Smokey comes running down.
So you see, you kind of have to tiptoe through the damp galley, which there's ways of getting water out from the inside of the ship. So people are working on that. It's already starting to drain out, but you can see it's a bit soggy down there. And you go into the hold, and you see this huge barrel-chested half-orc backing away from Bardor. And he just kind of looks at you and says,
Your crate fell over. Go.
and he quickly hurries upstairs.
What is wrong with him?
Well, I'm not totally sure, but there's this crate fell over and busted open, and there's something about this thing here, this star thingy, and it seems a bit weird. We both felt it.
Smokey will reach out to pick it up
Okay,
to get an idea of what they're talking about.
So first thing you notice, the crate that fell does seem to be one that had some of your belongings in. So you can see Bardor still in one of his hands holding on to some of your clothes that had tipped out. So this presumably is your box. Does Smokey? I know you're trained in navigator's tools, right?
Yeah.
So Does Smokey have a sextant of his own, or is he just competent?
I think he's just competent. He doesn't actually have one.
Okay, so this is weird, because there is a sextant that has fallen out of your
Yeah.
crate. As you go down to reach for it, you feel this tingle. Your arm gets a little cold. Do you continue to pick it up?
Yeah.
Okay. As your fingers touch, you just hear, and I would say, Bardor, you're close enough too. You would hear just softly carried on what little breeze is down there. Smoky. I don't know if that carried over. Could you hear that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Just checking. So just this faint whisper as you pick it up.
He would drop it quickly in fear.
What was that?
I don't know. These are a lot of my things, but this is not mine. I don't know where it's come from. And I don't know why it says my name. Do I get the sense that it's like a bad feeling?
Roll me Arcana or Religion. Or Insight, even. Whichever feels most appropriate.
I think I'll just go for insight because I couldn't decide between religion or arcana. They had the same modifier, but I was just like, I don't know which he would be more interested in. But so insight kind of is either whatever information you want to give me. It would be a 17.
17. Well, yes, it's weird. You're not necessarily sensing danger. It's more so unsettling and confusing. Because why is it in there? Why is it whispering your name? These are all valid points. But you weren't getting a vibe of it being like somehow corrupted.
Okay. I'll pick it up again and see if I can hold on a little bit longer to see if it says anything else. Or does it just keep calling my name?
Like every 15 seconds, just gonna keep saying your name.
Okay. So, okay, he's gonna try to answer it. He's just gonna say out loud. Yes.
It doesn't say anything else.
Okay.
Just your name every 15 seconds.
Okay. I will set it back down and just say to Vardor, just say, I have no idea what this is.
Well,
I don't know that it's necessarily a bad thing, but I don't know what it's for, in terms of why does it make us feel this way, and why is it calling my name?
Well, you said this isn't yours, right?
It isn't.
I mean, that's curious. Why would
Yes.
it be here?
Yes.
Unless it actually is yours.
Well, I mean, I don't know where it's. I am not lying to you, Bardor.
Bardor, you want to roll insight?
Yeah, that's great.
Because you've been suspicious of.
I
Smokey
know.
too, I think. Not quite as bad as Silverius, but.
Let's
Oh, I
see,
thought
that
it
is
was gonna be 2 for a second.
That's
Um,
15.
Okay. I would think that you feel pretty comfortable that Smokey's being on the level with you right now.
Okay.
So what do you do with it?
I think I'll ask Bartor. What do you think we should do with these? I don't really know what might be best. I feel like maybe we don't let it go missing, but I don't know how good it is to keep holding on to it, or should we have it exposed?
So, you grumble. I go, let me see it.
I give it back to
So
him.
I kind of like grimace and like take it. Does anything happen whenever I'm holding it?
Your hand gets cold, and it says Smokey.
Okay, well it's definitely yours. So I hand it back.
Well, just because it calls my name doesn't mean it's mine.
Well, it didn't call my name.
Well, it doesn't make it yours either.
I mean, I suppose we should see what other folks think. I mean, your shipmate there didn't seem to like it. But I mean, maybe Cosette or Silvarius or I mean, maybe even Eska, I don't know, would know something about this kind of thing. I'm like, I don't understand this water stuff, okay?
Well, this is water stuff that is not water stuff, I don't think. The tool itself is it's just a navigational tool. It is not supposed to have any kind of feelings or say things.
So all of these things don't just say some random person's name. Is what you're telling me?
Correct.
Okay.
This is unusual.
Because in my experience, they all speak to you.
Well, not in this way, you know.
One of one.
One of one. Confirmed sextons speak to you. In creepy, deepy ways. Okay.
And I will say, Smokey, you would say this does look like a pretty high quality item. Yeah, well made. And in very good condition.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it seems as if this is something that has not been well worn or used, which, I mean, what of my things is not well worn than used? So, I this is odd, especially for anyone who would be using it on the regular. It would very quickly not look quite so nice and shiny.
Okay. Well, if that's the case. I think we should probably ask people who are maybe know more about weird magic-y things that seem to be happening.
Okay. I can
Cosette,
carry
you
it.
probably, you would have heard some of this going on. Obviously, you would have heard the bosun, and observed his slightly frantic escape as he barged past you guys up to the top deck. So you're within earshot for probably a fair amount of that conversation. If you want to just hop in, you can.
Yeah, I don't know that she has any more insight, but can she ask to take a look at it? Could she kind of see if she can take it from Bardor? I'm assuming he's not holding on to it anymore, right?
Oh,
I think I gave it back to
yeah,
Smokey,
I'll
but
hand it to you.
Okay.
either way, I think we're both like, take it.
Yeah.
Could she just I mean, maybe from like a religion perspective, see if that has anything?
Sure. As you take it, you feel that cold start spreading up your arm, and you just hear Smokey. You can roll me religion, yeah.
19 on the die for 24.
Quite a high number. So, you would think that this. I mean, clearly, it's not a simple thing. There's something at work here. It's not cursed, but it seems to have been imbued with some sort of something that seems to be, how do I put this? It's not necessarily corruption. That I don't think that's the right term, but some sort of force of will has been pushed into this object, and it's trying to compel, and that's why it's calling out. It seems to be trying to lead or get Smokey in some way. Again,
So I can't tell like what is like whether it's sentient or a ghost, but I can tell it's trying to persuade in some way.
yes,
It has a purpose to it.
yes.
I'd throw it overboard. It's probably not important.
That's hard to do from below deck.
Chuck it through the wood. Oh, jeez.
I throw it so hard it goes through
Yeah.
the hole.
It's like
15
it's like
times,
a cartoon.
just over and over
Like-
again.
It's
until
like
the
a
whole thing-
cartoon. There's that bonk in the shape of.
Mhm.
Well, I guess, yeah, I mean, she shares that, just kind of her general feelings, and I don't know, maybe we should tell the captain. This is very, very strange, and could be something working against us. We have a pretty bad track record on water, so.
Do. Smokey, if you get us thrown overboard.
Would
And I
I?
guess she's just thinking, like, I don't want the captain to think we're, like, hiding something, like, just in case. So I think that's why she brought that up, but
Would I have an idea of if telling? It's Rolovar. Rolovar's the captain or the like first mate?
No, Adard is a captain.
Adard, that's right. Would I get the sense that telling Adard would be better than not telling him it? Would I know? Do I know him well enough to get a sense of that?
Yeah, you've traveled with Adard a fair amount, and they certainly would value knowing versus not knowing.
Okay.
There's a fair chance the bosun's already given some information.
Yeah.
Smokey's at it again.
Okay. Then yes, Cosette, I will discuss with Captain Adard and see what the. Hopefully they don't throw us over deck with this information, but we shall see. Trying
If
to
we pick
decide
it
if
up
I
with,
would
like, a
take it
cloth.
with me or not, or should I see if he can come below deck?
if we pick it up with, like, a cloth, does it have, like, the same, is it touch, or is it just, like, being close to it?
Are you trying? Or are you asking?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It does not seem to whisper when it's picked up by a cloth.
Okay. And just since I wasn't here, there's nothing that like damaged in the boat. Like there was nothing that like broke the hull or anything. It
No,
seems like there was
nothing
just a
like that.
disturbance and this fell off. Yeah.
It was just that wave that came through seemed to dislodge the crate.
What I
would
might
imagine that if somebody.
sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I might just go talk to Adard without bringing it if Adard's above deck. Just
Yes,
to
to
not,
your knowledge.
just to not. I mean, obviously, old what's his name might have already said something to other people, but since some of the crew can be pretty superstitious, maybe not
Yep.
running around flashing it all over the ship would be best. So I would just say we should go without it, or I can go talk to him myself, or her. Is it her? Yeah.
Pretty sure it's her. At one point, definitely was a guy, and then randomly got changed.
Okay.
It's the joy of trying to keep track of 1,000 NPCs.
I am
Just
happy. Yeah, I am happy to go talk with Captain Adard, and unless anybody wants to come with me, but don't feel obligated.
I think it'd be helpful to go together.
Okay. So we shall go talk to Adard if we know where she is.
When you left, she was up in the where the boat is sailed from. I forget
Yeah. Okay.
that castle thing.
Yeah.
I got it written somewhere. my boat knowledge has all abandoned me. And I don't know which. Oh, here it is. It's the quarterdeck. That's the one with the helm.
All right. To the quarterdeck.
Oh, no, I've got to find where. There we are. I got to get back to the right map. No, that's not the map I thought I was on. Oh, I see. I was on a different map to you. That explains it. Okay. So, as you head up, you see the bosun Kasich talking to Marka and Adard. And as soon as he sees you come up, he says,
Smokey, keep that confounded thing away from me!
and as you come up one set of stairs, he goes down the other set of stairs and goes towards the bow of the ship.
Yeah, gets it.
Oh dear. I guess he
And
has
the
told
captain
you.
just kind of eyeballs you. So what's going on?
Well, one of the crates down below fell and broke open, and it has a lot of my things in it, but there was something in it in which was not mine, but seems to give you a chill and calls my name, and I don't quite we can't. We don't know what it is. I mean, what this feeling is, or why it's doing this, or where it's come from.
You mean to tell me, after all of the trouble we had last time, getting over to Drakesburg, you thought it would be a great idea to come on my new ship, my nice new ship, and bring a possessed stargazing equipment with you?
I did not bring it. I don't know where it's come from.
Her face softens a little bit. I'm just yanking your chain. I didn't think it was you. I trust
He
you.
has a little sigh of relief as he thought he might get pummeled by both Adard and Vardor.
All right. So, you say it's not yours.
I mean, I
know
didn't
which
want to
is,
bring
and
it
that's
up
weird.
here because I know some
Right.
of the crew are already upset. But
It's just the crew. They'll be fine.
it's also much too fancy for something of mine, especially.
Have you used it?
No,
You didn't try looking through it.
no. I did not. I
Um,
did not want to cause troubles.
Well,
I don't know what it is or what it might do, so I didn't want to investigate further and have a big oopsie like last time.
stereotypes aside, I would have thought you would have been curious to see what it does.
Well, yes, I am very curious, but I am also aware that I am on thin ice with lots of people.
I'll get them in line. Don't you worry. I'll tell you what. Why don't we, after nightfall, bring it up top, and we'll. I'm curious as someone who obviously I use it. Why don't we compare with mine later? We'll see what it does.
Okay.
What's the worst that could happen?
Well, sharks with jumping onto deck and causing problems.
You probably deal with that. It'll be fine.
But I
But
am
what are the
happy
odds that
to
there'd be
explore.
another set of sharks with swords? Probably quite low, right?
Well, I don't know at this point. I would have said so a while ago, but the recent events and such.
So Adard is keen for you to do that later.
Excellent.
Do you want to do anything else the rest of the day?
Smokey's just going to be excited for that time.
Eska, you're up on the crow's nest, kind of struggling to hear what's going on, except for anything that Kasich says. You hear that pretty clearly. He has a way of projecting that carries over the wind and the sound of the waves hitting the ship. So what you can mostly get is that Smokey has something that is creeping the bosun out.
I think she'd probably pay attention to the body language, and seeing nothing too untoward break out, she'd probably just go back to whittling something or whatnot.
Yeah. And next to you, Hush, the Aarakocra, does very similar. Just kind of watches. That you kind of share a look between you, where it's like, do we need to get involved? And then like a soft shrug.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. Just gonna go back to watching, I think.
Yep.
Okay. So, rest of the day passes without incident. You're still making pretty good time. And eventually you kind of have an evening meal. And then after eating, Adad says, "All right, Smokey, bring your cursed sexton. Let's go take a look." And she heads up.
With enthusiasm, excitement, and speed, he does so.
All right, so you're up on the quarterdeck there, next to the big captain's wheel, and the captain has pulled out her sextant, which looks pretty nice, but not as nice as the one that Smokey currently has. And you kind of she kind of says, "All right, so historically, I would expect to be taking this route," and kind of describes what she would think is like the next steps for your journey. and kind of takes some measurements with her sextant, confirming where she thinks they are and so on, and says, "All right, you have a go."
Right. So he pulls out the one, looks through it.
Go ahead and make me a Navigator's Tools check, which I'm now trying to confirm what skill that is. Does it say? Does that just say yes? Okay.
Other
So,
proficiency.
yeah. I would think it's probably intelligence. So give me, just roll a d20. Give me that plus 4. That would be intelligence and proficiency bonus.
Okay, it's 12 with the
Okay.
proficiency.
So after kind of, figuring out some readings, you feel like, and it's a little off-putting because still every 15 seconds it's just whispering "Smokey" at you. You feel like the route that Adard had suggested is not the most opportune. There are some, as you get closer to where your tribe lives, there are a number of smaller islands that you kind of have to navigate around to get there. And based on what you are seeing as you're kind of calculating, you feel like it would be better to take a couple of different turns here and there.
I would express that to Adard, what I'm seeing and what route it's showing me.
Adard kind of considers this for a second. Interesting. Can I have a go?
Oh, yes. And he passes it over. And you
Right.
see the same things.
Smoky. Oh, that's creepy.
Yes, this is most disconcerting.
That's really strange. And you can see she kind of like tries switching between the two. Like, Ordinarily, I would say that doesn't make sense. You run a risk of running aground. But... Alright. We're gonna do what the crazy talking sexton says. What's the worst that could happen?
Well, I would really hate it if you ran aground.
Well, we'd all run aground. It wouldn't just be me. And then we can fix it. Right?
Again. This poor boat.
This one's not anything happened to it. Remember, this one's fresh.
Oh, that's right. It's a new boat. Oh, that's another new boat down the tubes.
She instructs you to tweak a couple of sails to make some adjustments for the directional shift. And unless anyone has anything else they want to do, that'll be it for this third day of the journey.
Can I just do, like, I don't know, perception or something? just on the captain, just getting a vibe if like her demeanor has changed at all. And part of this is me trying to remember how the captain acted
Sure.
since we last interacted. So
Give-
it's a little bit about.
I feel like that's going to be insight if we're judging
Oh yeah,
character.
okay. Insight. Yeah, you're right. 13.
She seems pretty similar. Quite upbeat. And generally in good spirits. Nothing alarming for you.
Yeah.
So, it is it's the next morning. And it is even colder today. Not not like below deck it feels very similar, but above deck you become very aware of a very, very strong wind. It means the ship is moving faster, which is good, I suppose. But it also means that you are, when you go up on top, if you haven't got like 2 coats on, you are feeling it pretty quick. I'm trying to think. It's probably Bardor who's left to give me a roll on a D10.
Oh dear.
What could happen? It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Let's see. D10. 1.
That's a reroll. Sorry. That was the sea shanties.
I mean, 8.
That is also a reroll. That was the dolphins. If you roll a 7 now, I'm going to be most perturbed.
7, 1, 7, 7, 7. 1.
Oh dear.
8. 8.
Oh boy.
Wow. This is cursed dice.
10.
10, finally. Okay.
That's virtual dice too, so I mean it's like
Right.
which is
That shows how random the dice are, because that shouldn't happen.
Do the probabilities on that, Phil, please.
No, I don't want to. It's very unlikely, and that's all I'm prepared to do.
I broke the space-time continuum.
My brain's doing it in the background. I can't stop it.
I know. I was like, he's gonna do it anyway.
I mean, no, stop. Okay.
Just write it down and do it with it later. I expect a full report.
We'll get a massive message later about the probabilities.
By close of business, I expect your results.
Yes, it is very, very quiet on the ship. Everyone's a little unsettled after the spooky sextant situation, and the speed of the ship is also a little unsettling. Having the wind has been much gentler previous days, so everyone's having to focus in a little bit harder on deck, in part because your eyes start watering almost immediately when you're like pushing in at that kind of speed and with the coldness of the air. So being up on deck is challenging, and you're kind of shifting out, like changing out who's up on deck pretty regularly just to give a break and prevent any kind of hypothermia. Because again, we're talking about like about freezing is your high, so the entire day is spent in below freezing temperatures. Not that the water's frozen, obviously, but it is bitterly cold down there right now. And yeah, as you keep kind of pushing, everyone's just kind of settled into a very kind of grim, all right, let's just get this over and done with. You do note that the route that's being taken does seem to, for those who, you know, are paying attention, and Esker, you would especially see this, the route that you're taking seems to be leading you quite close to a few small islands. And in fact, as you get closer to those, despite the speed of the ship, the captain navigates through some small channels between the islands. They seem uninhabited as far as you can tell. They're not particularly large islands at all, but it's a little set of islands that are fairly close to the mainland. And you see, as it gets later in the day, you see a large opening, some sort of inlet off to the right, and your ship is continuing on past that opening towards. At first, you can't tell if you're going towards an island or to if it's like a peninsula or something, but you're going past this first bit, like that first opening, certainly. So yeah, that just gives you kind of an idea of where you're at. Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the right version of my map. But yeah, the day is actually passing without too much incident, aside from going very quickly on board. And Marcus says that unless something changes, you should be arriving to Smokey's home the next morning.
So, how big is the sextant? Is it something that I could that I could carry around with me, like in a pocket, or stuffed into a little bag, or is it pretty heavy?
Yeah, I would think. Certainly, I think you can carry it in a bag.
Because if it was a size that he could just stick into a little satchel tied to his belt or something, he would keep it close by. But if it's a bit too cumbersome for that, then he would occasionally go and check on it, see if anything's changed with it.
Yeah. So a typical one could be like about 9 inches in length by about 9 inches, roughly. So you could definitely fit that in a bag and keep it on your belt.
Okay. Yeah, he'd keep it close by, and so then occasionally he'd reach in, see it and feel it, see if anything's changed with it, how it feels, or if it says something different.
At no point does it seem to say anything different. Anytime you touch it, it's just whispering your name. So, evening rolls around after a slightly tense day on the ship.
I think
And
if
Oh,
I
yeah, go.
can, as we approach evening, I'm going to subtly cast Detect Thoughts on Hush.
Okay. You can.
I just want to see what the surface thoughts are.
Do you have any, like, just in general? You're not, like, prompting anything?
I would probably do it after a moment where we've locked eyes and sort of, smiled or whatnot.
Okay. You'll be pleased to know that Hush does have an intelligence of 3.
Excellent.
Oh, sorry, 4 or higher. And does speak a language. Hush has said almost nothing to you this entire trip,
Yeah.
but you have, like, there's been the occasional word, so it's not like they're not capable of talking. They just choose not to. So, they seem to just quite enjoy your peaceful company. And are kind of relieved at your lack of conversation. So, I mean, you've now spent 4 days just hanging out up there with barely a word between you the entire time. And, they seem pretty content with that. It's a little hard because you're kind of looking at their face, too. And it's just such a strange face. They've got like this big tube nose beak. And then the eyes are just certainly very different to elven eyes. And, even when the wind picks up, it feels like their feathers stay very sleek and in place. Every now and then, you would note that, like, once or twice a day, Hush has just hopped out of the crow's nest and flown up above the ship or around the ship. Not for very long. And today, the ship is moving too fast for them to have done that. But instead, you see Hush just sort of like looked into the wind and every now and then just kind of close her eyes and just enjoy the feel of that rush against her face. You don't need to fly when you're going that fast and you're up in the crow's nest because it feels like you're flying anyway. But yeah, that's kind of what you're getting so far.
Alrighty.
No sense of alarm or concern about anything.
Yeah, no, I was just curious, really. Not going to dig any deeper.
Okay. So, as most of the crew come below deck for dinner, a couple of them start kind of poking at you, Smokey, and asking for the explanation of why you left. They've most of about half of the crew you've sailed with before, actually probably more. Some of them were new to you for this trip. But you haven't really given them a lot of detail about why you left.
Mm.
And now that it seems like come morning you'll be back, they're curious as to what's going on, and yeah, they just want to hear more.
I'll since they're asking, I'll explain to them what's happening, why I left and why we're returning and all of that. Trying to maybe try to be a bit not so detail heavy on the strange character, but just giving like a, not going into great detail, but giving them a overall, so as not to alarm some of the more superstitious ones, at least not alarm them too much, or at least that's what I would try.
They definitely are intrigued. Any hint of some otherness, and Kissick is out. Oh, Kasich, sorry, I got his name wrong. He literally grabs his bowl and walks away from where you're all sitting and eating. Zero interest in hearing about that. And as you're kind of finishing the tale, there's just a gentle knocking that starts coming from down in the hold. It's just like one knock at a time, about 7 or 8 seconds apart. It takes a little bit for people to realize what's happening, because you're eating and chatting, and you're kind of going over some of the details while trying to carefully pick your words to not freak people out too much. But yeah, there's a slight pause, and then you hear this just gentle knock.
Does everybody hear that?
Everyone kind of quiets down.
Is someone
Yeah.
playing a joke? It's not funny.
So most of the crew is accounted for. There's a couple who are up on deck, keeping the ship going in the right direction. Marka is up at the helm. Adar is below deck, eating. You would know maybe 1 or 2 more hands would be up top right now. But you think everyone's accounted for. It would be very difficult for someone to slip down from above deck and get past you guys into the main hold without being seen, certainly.
So, for clarification, there's Smokey telling stories, and there's just a weird knock at the door.
It just sort of seems to be a knock that's echoing in the hold.
Okay. So, like, it's sort of around us and not in a specific spot?
Yeah, it's just echoing into the hold, and like the way it's set up, you've got you come down the stairs straight into the galley, and then there's a little area where you can eat, and then it goes into the main hold, but it's all kind of open. And then there are rooms at the bow that have that's where you sleep.
Well, yeah, it would just be like, so that's not normal.
Adar just says, I mean, occasionally you hear, wood creaks. Typically it doesn't knock. And not this consistently.
I guess I'll cast detect magic.
Okay. It's a good thing Cassic's gone. Okay, you cast detect magic, and let me remind myself of the specifics. I want to make sure I'm telling you accurately. Okay. So you cast it and you kind of start walking down into the hold a little bit, just to make sure you're kind of looking for the origin. There does seem to be some sort of magical effect happening. It's not a spell per se. There's just some sort of magical effect that seems to be occurring here. As you walk closer, the knocking gets a little bit louder, and you start hearing these whispers again. Except, unlike before where it was your name, it's really hard to pick out exactly what is being said. You're just aware of these sort of whispers that are they're very soft, but you just hear this sort of like these weird susurrations.
If I pull out the sextant and look through it around this area, do I see anything?
No.
Had
Is
to
it
try
That
it.
would have been cool. That would have been cool.
Did they? Does the sextant still react the same way that it always
Yes.
has? Okay.
You then get an additional smoky on top of all the other weird whispering.
Lovely.
And you kind of turn back, and everyone else is hearing the whispers. It's definitely not just you.
Okay.
Make a perception check. In fact, everybody make a perception roll.
Do I need to make one if I'm in the crow's nest?
Yes.
Get a 2.
2. You cannot pick out a single word that's being said.
I got a 16.
Ooh, 30.
Wow. That is a big number.
16.
Okay. Sorry, what did you say, Angie?
16.
16 as well. Okay. All right. So yes, as Cosette, you can't discern anything. It's
That's
just
like,
too-
what? What's
it's too
going on?
crazy. Everything's going on.
Speak up.
Eska, you can't hear the knocking. You don't really hear the whispers until all of a sudden, carried on the wind, a couple of names stick out in those whispers. you hear Smokey, and you hear Chance.
I will just immediately look to Hush and see if Hush has heard these two.
Yes, Hush looks at you. Like, as soon as you hear it, like, at the same time and look at each other, and there's a definite, like, there's that connect. You don't even have to say anything. You're like, yeah, no, I heard that. And Hush kind of goes into high alert and starts looking around for the source of whatever that was.
I think ridiculous as it is, Eska stands up and draws her bow.
Okay.
As well. She goes into high alert.
You don't see anything. I mean, it's dark. A clear night, though.
I shoot the darkness.
Classic.
It says ow.
Oh,
More
shoot.
whispers.
Not a problem.
You've got like you've got a waning gibbous moon right now, so it's there's still a decent amount of moonlight coming down.
Okay, I mean,
So you can see around you, but there's
Yeah,
nothing to see.
she's just looking around and keeping alert, basically.
Yeah. By door, you hear Smokey, Chance, and on a 30, which is insane, you hear one other word. You're not sure if it's a name or what, but you hear Syrinx.
Smoky chance, like a chance,
Oh,
or chance
no.
as
Chance as in take a chance, take a chance, take a chance, chance.
I
Okay.
will say at this point, would he actually know that if he's hearing it?
Interesting.
I guess he rolled a 30. Maybe he can hear that slight subtle difference between chance and chance.
Yes.
Like the lack of the T.
He hears the word and then the letters form in front of his eyes.
The words form.
Yeah,
There you go.
because
Oh.
he can see into the ethereal whisper realm
Yeah.
with that perception.
Does Cassette just hear like pokey and chintz or something? Or
That can't even identify a word. It's all just too muddled. Yeah. So that's what you pick up. This continues for like, once Smokey's sort of gone to investigate, the whispering doesn't seem to stop. It's still just swirling around you softly.
What does this mean to you? Does Smokey here? I can't remember what his smoke.
Oh, Smokey got the same. Sorry, Smokey got the same as Eska.
Okay.
So, Chance and
Yeah.
Smokey.
Okay. So I'm Smokey and Chance. Who? Syrinx? What is Syrinx?
I don't know what Syrinx is. That is a new name.
Is Chance a person?
Yes.
Or
He is the one that was that stayed temporarily with us, and then just suddenly left. He was the one that was there before all the weird things started happening.
Um, I will say, uh, anyone can make an Arcana or Religion or History to see if the word Syrinx means anything. Let me see if any of the crew possibly know. Let's see.
"13 on the histories."
It's prequel-esque, so do you have the same stats?
Yes, I do. Thanks.
Uh,
Equally as useless. She's learnt nothing.
What was it? Arcana, history, and
Religion.
Oh Lord. Do I even roll?
Yes, everyone should roll. Except Eska, who currently knows nothing about this.
I mean,
I take back my 13.
Yeah, I
let's
forgot that.
see.
Sorry.
18 Arcana.
All of these are terrible for me.
What was what could we choose from again, Phil? Sorry.
History, Arcana, Religion.
I actually think if it helps, I was considering saying to Hush, "I'll be right back," and then scuttling down to, because obviously I heard Smokey, so
Okay. We'll reinstate your roll of 13.
thank you.
I did history because I feel like it's the only one that I would have maybe an idea of, even though it's terrible generally, and so I got a 13.
14. History.
Did I get a Smoky roll?
Yeah, it's 18 Arcana.
Okay. Yeah, no, this doesn't mean anything to anyone. At best, sounds like it could be a name, but you're not sure what of.
Is everything all right down here?
We just keep hearing these voices suddenly. We're not sure if we're okay or not.
Where do the voices seem to be coming from? Anywhere?
Yeah, just kind of all around.
Hmm.
They're still whispering.
Is the knocking still happening?
Yep.
Was that coming from? You said that was coming from somewhere specific, right?
Well, it hadn't ever been located. It was just being. It sounded like it was coming from the hold and sort of echoing through the inside of the ship.
I think as Eska's on pretty high alert and already has her bow out, I think she'll start to try. Now she can hear that knocking. She's gonna say, "Should we find out what that is?" And start attempting to locate it.
Smokey would go with her.
Give me investigation. You can either do one each, or one of you can have advantage.
I'm pretty bad at investigation. How about you?
I have +1.
That's better than me.
$15.
Okay. You look around. You move some boxes about as best you can. Obviously, they're quite well attached. And it doesn't seem to matter which part of the hold you stand in. It doesn't feel like you're getting closer to the knocking. It's just sort of reverberating inside the hold. but you close your eyes and just listen hard, and it just feels like it's out of reach. You can't. It doesn't matter which way you turn your head. It doesn't feel like you're pointing at it.
And nothing's registering like as a aura for the detect magic for Smokey.
It's so. What, in terms of like the school?
Well, it just
Or
I
just
see it says
like
you
a faint aura?
yeah, to see a faint aura, to see an area that bears magic.
It just the hold in general has like this faint essence, this faint aura, but it doesn't seem to be tied to a specific spot within it. Some sort of magical effect has happened, but what's causing it, what it even is not determined.
Does this bother you, Smokey?
Yes. I don't know what this is.
You don't have dispel magic, do you?
I don't think so. No.
Well, I don't see anything. I don't really know what else to do. I guess make my way back to the others. Is it? But is the knocking louder once we get into the hole?
No, like I said, it's kind of all one space anyway. There's not like well, there's not a door that's closed currently. I think you can close it off, but typically it's left open.
Oh, it's like on the same level. There's not like a
Yeah.
lower level. Okay.
If I go up to the deck and I pull out the sextant and look around, and including up in the sky, is everything still as it was the night before? Everything looks the same, and the path that we need to take looks the same, and all of that.
Yes. Yes, and you can see in the moonlight the you've gone past what Eska saw, which was the entrance to the Bay of Dancing Dolphins. You've moved past that now, and you're close to the island where your family lives. So, sure enough, by morning, you will be back home.
I think I'll just rejoin the others, and the only thing I can think of is maybe this has something to do with getting close. Maybe something else has happened since I have left. Maybe it's coming from my home.
Eska will go back up to the crow's nest.
Yeah, I will basically, just kind of have I'll pull out a dagger and just kind of have it at hand at all times. Considering this is just weird and not normal.
It is still going on.
Yeah.
Hang on, you're telling me Bardo didn't already have all his weapons out all the time?
Yeah, I know, right?
He is slipping.
Yeah, right.
Oh, can I ask a quick meta question?
Yeah.
Did Smokey, when Smokey pulled their sextant out, was the sextant glowing with an aura?
Yes, I suppose it would have done. You're right.
I'm just used to this because Eli used to do this to me all the time and I hated it. Because then he'd say, "What school of magic is it?" And I'd
yeah,
say, "Oh
I know.
no."
That is where I knew the next question would be. So hold on a second.
I know there's not many of them, but I've never fully got my head round.
Well, and some of them just aren't obvious.
Yeah.
Um,
And some of them you're like, it's like if something's been put on an item and it's like an enchantment, but like it's a necromantic enchantment, is that necromancy or is it enchanting or is it both? I mean, I don't know if it can have multiple. It's just all too vague.
Well, and to that point, I would say, faintly, it would be enchantment and necromantic.
Oh dear.
So you called that, apparently.
Accidentally. Those are just the two easiest ones to remember.
No, that's exactly on point. You were right.
I was like, ooh, that sounds better.
Yeah.
I could make a necromantic too. Yeah, let's do that.
I don't have to look anything up
looked
now.
a spell. I looked things up to try and figure it out. Thank you very much.
We'll go with that.
So the whispering's continuing.
Does it
Camille has kind of...
does it help if you put your hands over your ears?
I was literally going to ask the same thing. Just like at that moment.
Yes.
Okay.
It is an audible whisper. Therefore, if you block out your hearing somewhat, it is
I
lessened.
kind of want to, but also for look at that's not ideal, so I won't do that.
Yeah.
Having seen, knowing what the sextant is now, Smokey's less inclined to carry it around with him anymore. So he's kind of put it back with his other belongings, but he's just not going to carry it around with him.
Yeah, put it back. It wasn't doing this until it fell out.
Maybe Cassette had the right idea. Chuck it over!
Yeah.
If you do that, it's going to be right back there the next morning.
Oh my gosh. Freaking crap, man.
And sorry, you said how close are we? We're getting close to being...
Yeah, you'll be there in the morning.
Okay.
Now, I will add, that Smokey would know this, there are non-bad spells that fall under the school of necromancy. Okay? Just so we're clear, it's not
Okay.
all bad. Things
Just
like
misunderstood.
False Life would give you bonus 10 HP, Spare the Dying, all of the like resurrection stuff falls under that. Sure, so does Blight, Finger of Death. But it's a mixed bag. But
He's
They're-
trying to play it safe given his most recent befallings.
I mean, it definitely leans bad, but it's not all bad. So you would know that.
It sort of, I guess, in a way, concerns the giving and taking of life in all its
Right.
forms. So.
Well, yes, and I think it used to be that like Cure Wounds was a necromancy spell.
Mm.
These days, it's actually evocation. Weirdly, that doesn't really make sense to me, but
No.
apparently healing became evo. I think it was better when it was necromancy, personally, because
Yeah.
that fits that concept better. So it looks like pretty much all healing type spells are evocation.
Maybe it's to distance itself from the preconception of necromancy being evil.
The sad thing about that is if you want to play a non-evil necromantic
Yeah.
thing, you know,
It's
you have
yes.
to sort of get over that hurdle then, I suppose. That mental hurdle.
So, it's
Smokey
kind
will
of
also pull out his little bird and say a little his little fake
Mhm.
bird he has for praying
Oh,
to
yeah.
Valkyr.
I thought you meant a real bird. You just pull
Yeah,
out a
no,
bird
no.
from your
His
your
little
pocket. You're
wooden,
like, hello.
it's wooden, or no, his little bronze bird that's painted white, and he says
That's
he
right.
says a little prayer for guidance to Valkyr.
Give me a religion roll.
Ten.
You feel mildly comforted, but the whispering continues.
Yeah, no, it wasn't to get rid of the whispers necessarily, but it was more for comfort reasons.
Well, you feel comforted.
I think Esker will actually say to Hush that if they want to, because I presume that they've been sort of trading sleep at night time so that it can have a 24-hour watch, she will offer that they can trade out sleep in a sense that, you know, like, don't worry, you can block your ears if you want. I'll keep watch while you're asleep type deal, or while I'm in trance. So Esker will offer that to Hush.
Hush just kind of mumbles a little thanks and swoops down below deck. You do feel like the whispers are maybe a touch quieter up on the crow's nest than they were under the ship, but also it may just be that they're harder to pick up
Over
amongst
the sound.
the sound of the wind and the waves and everything.
Yeah.
So night slowly is falling. Well, I mean, night has fallen outside, but you know, like you're kind of getting to that point where you're wrapping up the day, and the whispers are continuing. It's kind of already got to the point where it's just this weird background noise, a bit like at Badger Down. You get used to the constant clanging and sound of that weird mechanical clock that they have there. You learn to tune out the whispers, but they're still going, and the knock keeps happening every few seconds. But eventually, it's time to try and get some sleep for those who are not on deck overnight. It's not easy to fall asleep though, because once the small hubbub of everyone kind of milling about dies down, there's less background noise to disrupt the whispers.
Like the ears somehow.
Yes, you can do that. So if you want to, you can kind of wrap something around your head to block it out. Let me have everyone make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh dear.
$19.
Oh, from everybody.
Yes, please.
11.
My bad.
Okay. 19, 11, both good.
It is 20.
20, good.
I must be conscious to grant my bonus. Okay.
Seems fair.
Ooh. Oh.
Okay. Oh, good. You you all wake the next morning, or whatever an elf does that's like waking. And while you don't feel particularly well rested, none of you would say you feel mechanically exhausted. The whispers are currently still going as you wake. I will say you can take this opportunity to adjust your spells as needed in the morning for those who prepare spells in that manner.
Does Silverius look exhausted?
Let's see. Nah, he's fine.
We know how he is. So.
You know what? Adad's fine. Mark is fine. Merca.
Oh.
Oh dear. Kasich is not good.
No surprise there.
No. Toothspoon's fine. Reeve is fine. Burja is fine. Hush is amazing. Lachlan is fine. Nina is fine. Thumbs is fine. Minnow is fine. Okay, that's a 13. I thought that was another one.
Yeah, look at one.
Fint is fine, and finally Nixie is fine. So, everyone wakes up, starts moving about, and Kasich, the bosun, is just in a foul mood. He is just yelling
Poor
at
guy.
everyone, even more than usual. And it seems fitting that I should have given him disadvantage, but he didn't need it. His distaste for anything vaguely magical or occultish or whatever has just meant that he spent the whole night like rocking and uncomfortable, and yeah, he looks like he didn't get a wink. His face just looks sunken and he looks miserable. He grabs some food quickly, heads up, and then as you're all kind of eating your own food, you hear from him, which you realize is quite unnecessary. You've been close to the coast the whole time. The land has been hoe consistently. There's never been a time where there was no hoe of land.
Has he just been doing that every 10 seconds the whole trip? Or
Yeah, right.
But you take it to mean that perhaps you are approaching your destination. We're going to switch to this map. This is pretty. And so you are you come up at Kasich's call, and you see there's a slight morning mist that's hanging over the water and over the Black Gull as it heads towards the shore. Where previously all you could really smell up there was salt in the air, now you're smelling a little bit of the smell of dirt and some vegetation. As you can see, you're closing in on the coastline. There's a nice white gold sand, and behind it some swaying palms leading into something that looks more akin to a jungle. The water here is absolutely crystal clear. The sky this morning is gray So the water, perhaps not as blue as it otherwise could be. It kind of has a strange sort of blue-gray color. And the area where you're approaching, there is a single dock that leads out quite far into the water, built of driftwood and white timber. And at the far end rests a ship. Smokey, you would recognize this as the Sea Carver's Glistening Majesty. It is an old ship now, definitely not in the current fashion. And you can tell as you get close, as the ship slows, and you slowly move towards the dock. You can see that the ship seems to be 1,000 different types of wood all stuck together, as it's gone through many phases of repair. Instead of the black gull, which is a nice uniform color on the outside, this is like a patchwork of different pieces of wood that have all been put together over probably decades of use. There's a very worn figurehead at one end that's been chipped and dulled, and like a lot of the features have been lost. And the dock is empty. No children playing in the sand near the dock. No one waiting to help the ship moor. There's just the creak of the ropes that are holding the Sea Carver's Glistening Majesty in place, and the sound of waves lapping against the shore. Beyond the dock, there's a path that leads up through the beach and disappears between some of the trees. You can just about make out some of a couple of roofs that are set just a little way back into the trees. Much like the ship, it looks like these roofs have been patched many times. And there is one plume of smoke that seems to be coming up slowly, gently from a single chimney. Aside from the waves and the sound of rope straining as the ship creaks gently in its mooring, there is not a lot of noise. Yesterday's wind has died down to almost nothing, which has meant that you can make a pretty gentle arrival. But the silence is palpable. Typically, you would expect birdsong, especially at this early hour. Probably some gulls laughing away on the rocks nearby, but it is strangely quiet. And the ship lands. Everyone does their job in getting the ship secured in place next to the Sea Carver's Glistening Majesty. And you are able to take your first steps out.
A quick question. Do we know where we are?
One of you does.
Does this place have a name or anything? Are we still on the coast? Is it an island?
It is, it appears to be, it's hard to tell, actually. I guess you would have seen the approach, since you were up on the crow's nest. So, it is a largish island off the coast.
But close enough that it's a little tricky to tell, I guess.
Yeah, it's big enough that, and you're kind of coming in from the side of the open water. So that makes it difficult because, everything is land kind of beyond here. And then looking out the other side, it's just water. Lots and lots of water. So when you're this close, it's very hard to gauge what's actually happening elsewhere. But it's the last bit of land before you get to the sea. There's a couple of small islands that are jutting up, but nothing significant.
What is
and
this?
there's
I guess I'm
there's
not.
no large settlement here. But yeah, so the ship has been docked successfully.
I guess I will come down then and say, Smokey, what is this place called?
Is it? Sorry.
What?
It is,
I said, Smokey, what is this place called?
oh, it is just the glistening seashore, isn't it? Or is that just the name of my... I
Yeah,
keep getting that confused, right?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is the Glistening Shore Tribe.
Okay.
So I don't think you really have a. It's not like there's a settlement name for it.
Yeah, no. The glistening seashore tribe. This is the glistening seashore. But this is it's not as glistening as it could be at the moment. This is a bit strange. Especially how quiet everything is. This is not normal.
Bows out.
Close out.
You notice as you go to walk onto the dock that none of the crew are following you, and Mirka just leans over as Lachlan starts pulling the plank back in, and he just says, "Right, so what should we call it? 3 days? That sound good?
Yes.
Excellent. We're going to go not here.
Yes, I understand.
We've got the cargo to get to Marlith, so we'll head back in to the Bear Dancer Dolphins, sell what we can, pick up whatever needs to go north, and we'll come back and swing by for you. Doesn't look like it's going to be too hard to find you on account of there's nothing here. So, yes, we are leaving immediately.
Two questions above table. Could we hear the knocking and whispering when we woke up this morning, and can we hear the knocking and whispering now?
Okay. Yes, the whispering and knocking continued. I don't know if anyone happened to wake up and pick spell magic. I don't know who has that available to me.
I did.
Did you take it?
I did. I prepared it.
Did you want to use it?
Yes. Yeah, because that would be good so that they don't keep putting up with that.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
I'll go
as
ahead.
you go down, go in the hold.
Yeah.
You cast it, and check something. Do. Okay, that's what I thought. Yes, so mark off a spell slot for that. As you do so, you feel instantly the whispering and knocking stop. And
Do we take all of our
Catholic
things with us?
in particular is happy about this. Do you take all your things with you?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Maybe you should bring the sextant.
Well, that was number one priority.
Okay.
Then I have some extra clothes.
Kasich is very unhappy about the dispel magic because he doesn't like that it took magic to stop the creepy thing that was happening. It's just doubled down.
Yeah.
Like, in theory, it should be an improvement, but it doesn't feel like it.
Right.
So yes, you step out onto the dock and you see the black gull pulling back away from the dock and turning back the way you came to go around the north of the island and depart for Marloth, which you know is probably about another day's sail. So for now, they are out of reach. And it is just you guys standing on the dock of the bay, as it were. It is still cold, by the way. Not quite as cold as yesterday, especially with the light wind.
As we're in a fixed
But-
place, Eska will also druidcraft here.
Okay. Yes, it is going to remain below freezing today and stay gray, but doesn't look like there's going to be any rain or snow or anything like that. It's just going to stay this persistent gray gloom.
Can you do that, Smokey?
Do what?
Check the weather?
No.
Oh.
I cannot. But it is good that you can.
But you feel rude asking that now, don't you?
I feel somewhat relieved that I haven't been stealing his thunder. And when I say stealing his thunder,
I
I
was
don't
going
mean
to
literally
say now,
with the...
okay, now if we're going to talk about making weather things happen, I can do that.
Ah,
A little bit. If I've prepared it.
I wonder if I can predict that with my druidcraft.
I see a lightning bolt in your future.
Fortunately, I have unprepared that for today.
Predict this, and I will cast Gust on Smokey.
Oh dear.
On Silverius.
One time we all get lightning bolt back.
He's getting off the boat. Ah!
Alrighty, so what's the plan?
I think we should all be ready for anything at this point because this is not how coming home should look. There's usually, people around. There's birds usually making noises first thing in the morning. The sun shines a lot here, so for it to be cloudy is not normal. We should be very cautious.
Are all your people Tabaxi?
No. There are some others.
Okay.
Some other races. Are they races? Races? Yeah, races.
Sure.
Yeah. Creatures.
So do you normally are there normally people here at the dock?
Yes. Well, typically we would actually our ship would be working and not being tethered to the docks.
Should we take a look around it to see if there's anything weird
That may not be a bad idea.
whilst we're here?
We could.
Yeah, I mean the plank is there, so you can walk up. It's a similar sized ship to the old ship that Adard had. The Black Gull is a little larger. But similar sort of design. It has the quarterdeck at the back, forecastle at the front. There's one main mast, and then there's an area below deck. Smokey, especially, you would realize as you're kind of walking through, it looks like it's been sitting here a while.
Hmm.
Um, especially as you go below deck, there's no smell of sort of fresh food having been cooked. The hold is basically empty. And there's dust on some of the surfaces that normally would have been cleaned if it was out and about. I'm trying to remember how long you've been gone now. Is it a few months?
Um,
Is it that long?
probably, yeah. It's like
So yeah,
not a long, super long time, but yeah.
You don't remember any time really where it had been left long enough to look like this when you were there,
Yeah.
unless there was like a major illness or something like that.
Esker will call out hello and listen intently to see if there's anybody on board.
No reply.
Well, this definitely hasn't gone anywhere for a long time. It's usually not this empty and unkept.
Well, worth a try.
But this is also another bad sign. That things are not going well. Which is somewhat uh, predicted, but still unsettling to see it.
Where would your where is your dwellings?
This way. And I would start leading them down the path to where the main hall is.
Yeah. So yeah, the path. There's like um, a vague path on the beach itself, but you can see at the top when the vegetation starts, there's clearly a worn track through that kind of leads from roughly where the dock is, between the trees towards those buildings that you could see. Um, and as you get through like that first couple layers of trees, it does open out back into a bit of a clearing. There's one sort of central building, um, which has the chimney with the smoke coming out of it. And then there's um, five other buildings that sort of scattered around. Um, and so Smokey, obviously, you know the sort of the first one off to the left, that was your family's. Um, then the like working around in like a semicircle. Um, you have Otis's house is next. Then it's the human family's house. Then the next one is actually the gnomes, and then the last one is empty. Was sort of built in anticipation of another family joining, but as yet is unfilled. Um, so yeah, you have those five in a sort of a semicircle around, and then the central building, which is it seems to sort of function as the hub of the community.
We all tend to eat our meals together, so at this time of day, normally we would all be in the main hall. But it just seems awful quiet. But perhaps we can start there.
So you head towards the main hall, and I would say all of you except Cosette, because your passive is awful. Again, you're just noticing as you walk towards the hall, there's still the absence of like nature sounds aside from like the gentle wind rustling in the palm leaves. You're not hearing like the cry of parrots or rustling of lizards in the undergrowth. There's none of that. Everything's eerily still. So you go through the there's like a double door thing at the front of this building, and go inside, and it's mostly just one big room. There's a couple of little smaller rooms off to the side. There's a large central fire pit that has the chimney above, but it's sort of, you're able to sit around it nonetheless. It's one of those, like cool open plan fire things that still sucks the smoke out. And then there's a number of tables and chairs kind of scattered around the room. And then on the back wall, kind of opposite where you're coming in, there's a large painting of the ship that you saw moored outside. And then in the hall, you see close to 20 people sitting around the fire. You see tabaxi, humans, dragonborn, gnomes, and an elf. And they're all like, while they're sitting around the fire, they're all facing that back wall. One of them, a tabaxi who looks very similar to Smokey, is currently, seems to be telling a story of some sort. But almost as soon as you walk in, they stop, and everyone kind of turns to look at the doors in unison. And they all just kind of stare at you. Yeah, there's just this very awkward pause.
Hello. I've come back. I'm more curious to see if they recognize me at all, or if they're just kind of, if they're like blank staring at us.
There's a hint of recognition. So the one who's kind of talking is your twin, Thunder. Yeah, the look that they give you is mostly annoyance that you've interrupted their flow. And there's just like this again, this sort of awkwardness just hangs in the room. And then the large dragonborn, I didn't make a note of what color he was. Hold on, let me see what color he is, because I know I may have written that. Brass. He is a brass dragonborn. This large, older brass dragonborn stands up and just says, So you're back. I actually think that might be a good place to cut it.
It's a weird thing for him to say.
Yeah.
You know full well that's not what I meant.
Is that a threat?
Oh, yeah, a little bit of Bardor in you, see.
Yeah. Well, they seem nice. I'm glad we came.
Find out that it was Smokey who cursed the village the entire time and they
Yeah.
banned him.
They exiled
like,
him.
what?
Yeah. You knew that you were exiled on pain of death
This is the third time
if you
we've
were
done
to
this.
return. Smokey goes to the door and starts scratching at it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's back again.